Have you had expensive mistakes in business, and could you talk about them and how you've learned from them?
We hired the individuals who interviewed well, someone who's charming and they're well-spoken, and I love communication, I love speaking, so I'm drawn to people that communicate well, and I think I can be oversold in the interview. Like if someone is, hey, that person's confident and they know what they're talking about, they're gonna be a great employee, and then they're not. So we've had a few of those that we've learned from.
And I think the most expensive mistake I made was being that Superman, taking on way too much, not realizing that I was trying to play all the roles and didn't delegate and try to fill in the roles of my business. Didn't even think about what the roles of the business should be. It was just like, just get it done. Not realizing, okay, well, this is a business owner task. This is a business manager task. This is a business development task. This is a accounting task. And be able to spell out those roles.
Hiring the wrong people, the learning, and what we would do now is hire for attitude, train everything else. Rather than hiring based on a great looking CV of someone that has the skills, but they're not a good culture fit. And being super focused on our culture, which is like very, very flexible and family first and team, looking after your teammates, that's super important to us, being transparent. And yeah, that would be probably the biggest one, because those mistakes cost you the most in business.
I think any mistake that's cost me heavily financially is when I had my greed glands secreting at all-time highs and I made uneducated decisions based on the short-term profit rather than the long-term game. So whether that was to acquire a customer or a client that I knew I probably shouldn't have worked with, or investing into some sort of vehicle that was supposed to help me with my business, any times I was making decisions based on the emotion of the greed rather than taking a step back and thinking long-term, it's cost me big time.
I think staying working for somebody else way too long. I really wanted to always become an entrepreneur, but I never really knew what industry or what business that would be. Instead of being fearful of the things that I might not be able to do, I should have just pushed forward and learned how to do it. I eventually, taught myself how to do everything.
It was the way we used to advertise when we first started. We started with a lot of videos, almost like TV ads, and pushed them out there. And they were really good for return on investments. They did well. But as I look back now, there's so many more things we know and so many different ways of doing things, like providing value first and going that route. And that provides equally as good return on investment, but also gives us so much more scale. And I just wish I knew that when I first started.
I've probably made $2 billion of mistakes in the last 20 years. My life is nothing but mistakes. I built AA.com for American Airlines. And we launched the site and spent, I think, $2.5 million of media, and the site was not live the day it was launched. And that I went to my mentor, who was the CEO, and he said, because I thought he was going to fire me when he called me up to the office, and he said, son, we just made a big investment in you.
What did you learn from that?
I learned that what matters is not trying to avoid mistakes, but continuing to iterate. And you hear a lot of people talk about failing fast and failing forward. And we believe that mistakes are okay as long as they're small ones and you continue to iterate. And that's what the whole learning process is.